The natural world is the greatest source of excitement, the greatest source of visual beauty, the greatest source of intellectual interest. In an industry built on filming its artistry, what do you do when half of it is submerged? For these underwater cinematographers, finding story is just a matter of depth.
But here I was, 60 feet down in the Amazon, at night, in low visibility, and then I had a major problem with my rebreather. I had to bail out. It's being able to deal with a situation like that, which gets you back up to the surface. My name's Michael Pitts. I'm a cameraman and I'm also a film producer. I've been in the profession really since the mid-80s, so I hate to say this, it's over 30 years. Filming underwater is very, very different from filming on the surface. The choice you have of different shot angles is far greater than you would if you were filming conventionally on the surface. Say filming a monk seal, which is below you, you can move around at 360 degrees, which you can't do on the surface unless you do get a drone. The big thing about making film, any film, it doesn't matter if it's underwater or a surface film, you're entertaining somebody. It's got to be entertaining. It can't be too scientific. So you have to strike a balance between somebody enjoying that program and teaching them about a world they may never go into. It's that sort of winter wonderland down there, and you just don't want to spoil it. You wouldn't do it to somebody's house, so you keep it as pristine as possible for somebody else to enjoy. Coral's incredibly fragile. If you can imagine working in a china shop and you've got a big camera, you've got all the kit on, your buoyancy is everything, keeping above the coral. You'll find a patch of sand. You can kneel on that. You can still get your shots, but you're not actually damaging the coral. I can show you footage, it's horrifying about what's happened to, what we're doing to our world. When we did the original Blue Planet Series 1, Program 9 was about the environment. A lot of countries chose not to show that episode. They said, oh, it's negative. They didn't show it in the States. But now people are more aware of what's happening in the natural world. When you work with a director or a producer and they're more used to land-based projects, you might say, oh, here's a day's filming. You've got a day to go and do this job. Well, for me, for an underwater thing, I say, okay, that's going to be 4 days. And it's just the logistics of diving. So preparation is, as I always say, it's one of my fundamental rules about filmmaking is preparation is 90% of the job. Good preparation, you can't go wrong. Looking at dives, it's all very well. You can go to the Red Sea on a diving holiday. It's hot, it's clear water, it's calm. Sharks going past you, stingrays, dolphins, you get all sorts of things. You go to the English Channel or the Solent Channel and you've got to step off and hit that buoy in the current and then go down that line. You've got to be able to handle all of that and the camera. So understand your equipment, I think it's probably the best thing really. When you set out to make a career for yourself, you think, right, I want to be an underwater cameraman or I want to be a cameraman. There's the choice. I wanted to be a diver. That was my first and foremost thought when I was a young kid. I was 7 years old and I went into the water the first time with a mask and snorkel, and I never looked back. We're all going through our lives. I'm near the end of my career now. When I look back on my career and my life, I think about what legacy do you leave? If somebody wanted to remember me, I would say, well, yeah, he was a brilliant cameraman. That's what I'd like them to think. But also he, did a lot for the environment. I think that's what I would like to go down as.